waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider.
What's up, Fins family? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I hope everybody's having a great day. Here we are, day 2 of the week. We have made it to Tuesday. I hope everybody had a great Monday. All right. Shout out to the celebrity in the building. Miami Dolphin Syndicate is checking in. What's going on with you, man? I've been watching your content, man, and I definitely enjoy it. One thing I'll tell you, just keep going, bro. Keep going and stay consistent. I love the consistency. I keep getting the notifications. Miami Dolphins Syndicate dropped another video. So trust me, I'll be checking you out, man. So appreciate you being content for me. All right. Content creators usually don't have content to watch. So I definitely watch your content, man. So salute to you, homie. Listen, man, y'all hit the like button on your way in the building. Y'all already know the rules. At least I try to make them rules. Y'all help the channel out. So punch the like button. It will be greatly appreciated. All the notifications haven't been going out, but it's all good. You know, things happen. But you can help the channel by punching the like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. And again, well, let me put this up real quick. No, it's not going to work today. I'll figure out a way to get it done. Yeah, so what's going on, people? What is going on, people? I hope everybody's okay. Listen, man, we got a great stream lined up for you all. We're going to talk about the Byron Jones cap implications. We want to talk about the running back situation. And we also got to talk about some fifth-year options. Tua ain't the only one with a fifth-year option. You know, Austin Jackson, Noig, Monogamy, plus Tua, of course. We're going to talk about those fifth-year options, and then we're going to talk about a little bit more before we open it up as an open panel. See if some of you guys can come on and we can chop it up. All right. So again, hit that like button. Word of mouth is in the building. I see you, Jose Cruz. What's up, my brother? That's what's up, man. Try NGO. Andre Johnson in here, man. That's what's up. Salute to you, brother. Batman Pops. What's up, baby? What's up with you, man? TFJ, I see you. Shout out to the mod squad and shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank y'all so much. Pass on all three. Oh, man. Good morning, TD. I wish you and your family a beautiful day. Thank you, Cesar Diaz. Same to you and yours, brother. Von Joe checking in. Who is that? That's Von Joe. Ooh, we got celebrities in here, y'all. Bones in the building. What up, homie? That's what's up, man. I can't wait till I drop the link, man. I ain't heard from some of y'all in a minute, so that's going to be pretty dope. All right, so let me dive in because I want to get to the open part where we all can get on the screen together. So let me go ahead and dive in and get my job done so we could chop it up together, all right? What up, Crypto? All right, so Byron Jones, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and knock that out. A lot of people were asking about, you know, how it affects the cap, what are the implications and all that good stuff in regards to that. Let's break it down real quick. Byron Jones, it's not in his best interest to retire because if he did retire, he would owe the Miami Dolphins $4.2 million, okay? Byron Jones would owe the Miami Dolphins $4.2 million if he did retire. So let's get that out the way first. But side note, shout out to Chef Drew and Andres Negron in the building. And listen, this stream is being brought to you by BetUS, NFL picks and predictions. BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to those who have been signing up for BetUS, taking advantage of the $50 free play. Okay? Listen, if you haven't signed up yet, risk-free. Sign up. It is $50 of free, no deposit bonus that they give you just for signing up. If you use the link in the description of this video, all right, TD Fins 50 free. And listen, if you want to donate and you want to go bigger, hey, 125% bonus up to $2,500 on your first deposit. Take advantage of that promotion as well. But BetUS, ladies and gentlemen, supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel, and they have definitely been supporting us. So we appreciate BetUS. And listen, congratulations to those who have been winning money and enjoying the games as well. So salute. And the links are in the description of the video. So all you got to do is click on show more and you'll see those links. Click on them and you're good to go. All right. All right. So before we get back into the Byron Jones business, let's hit that like button. Hit that like button. Punch that like button. Let's get it up. Appreciate those who hit the like button. All right. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. All right. Let's keep it going. Byron Jones, if he did retire, he would have to pay the Dolphins $4.2 million because of the signing bonus. He got so much money on signing bonuses. So he would have to actually owe the Miami Dolphins some money. Okay. So that's why it's not in his best interest. Now, I don't think he's going to retire because I ain't giving up $4.2 million. You know, I just wait it out. I'll wait it out and just wait till they cut you. I mean, what's the purpose of retiring? Just wait it out. Wait till they cut you. So just sit at home, chill, and when you're released, you get to keep your $4.2 million. Okay, because they cut you. Now, the Dolphins, here's the issue with the Byron Jones situation. The Dolphins won't cut him until June 1st. They can't really cut him until June 1st because it ain't in their interest. They won't receive any cap savings for this offseason. So all these people saying, well, when we cut Byron Jones, we'll save this amount of money. You can't use it in free agency. The NFL won't approve it in free agency. You can't, in certain moves you're not going to be able to make because you can't use that money until after June 1st. But that's all good. You know, I could actually see because if the Miami Dolphins got tons of $1 million that they couldn't use in free agency, but they still have it, they'll either save it for next year or what they'll do is make one of those trades in training camp. Jones is owed a non-guaranteed base salary of $13.5 million this year. Miami would save $3.5 million against the cap if they cut him before June 1st. But they'd carry a $14.8 million dead cap if they did that. But a post-June 1st cut, however, gives them $13.6 million in salary cap relief with $4.8 million in dead cap, which is the way to go. Okay. Now, they've already built out voidable years in Byron Jones' contract, which is a plus for the Miami Dolphins. So instead of being a $10 million burden in 2024, what they'll be able to do, he'll be a $4.75 million cap hit in 2023 when they cut him. And the following season, about almost $3 million of a burden. So it's not a bad thing for the Miami Dolphins. They're not going to get hit real hard with the Byron Jones situation. Now, here's the reality, and the article says this, and they're right. Here's the reality. Let's be honest, y'all. The 5-year, $82.5 million contract for Byron Jones was a failure. Let me say it again. The 5-year, $82.5 million contract for Byron Jones, it was indeed a failure. I believe he got every penny of his $54 million guaranteed. And the reality of it is the failure did not come from his play. It came from his availability. It came from his ability to be on the field. It was a failure. 3 years ago, we made Byron Jones the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. We made him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. And it was not because of the play, it was because of his availability. It's almost like this. It's like Tyreek Hill getting hurt in training camp and missing all next year. And then the following year, Tyreek Hill plays 5 games and then gets hurt and misses the rest of the year. And at that point, they would move on from Tyreek Hill after 3 seasons. And it would not have been because of his play, but his availability. Oh, well, let me find some wood. Let me knock on it. Cross my fingers. We don't want that to happen, though. I'm just giving you an example. Injuries. And here we are looking at certain players. And when I'm going to be honest, when you think about it, when we say the Byron Jones experiment was a failure, I can honestly tell y'all that we're on the trajectory of Xavier Howard's contract extension also being a failure. Unless he turns it around. Because within his extension, he has been unhealthy. Within his extension, his play has consistently declined. And the Miami Dolphins, for some reason, continue to sign big contracts that end up being a failure. Let's go a step further. Teron Armstead. I told you all he would miss 5 games. He missed 5, well, maybe 6. I don't remember now. He missed the games I said he would miss. If we continue to have this every single year, once again, that's what we'd be looking at. A guy that when he's on the field, he is one of the best at his position, but the experiment is a failure because he isn't on the field in the most crucial moments when you need him most. We got to stop doing this. We have to stop doing this. Another guy who we hope plays all season next season, who already his big contract is turning out to be a failure on this team, Emmanuel Ogbah. We give him a big deal in the very first season. First of all, he did not play good at all the first 8 games or however many he played. Then he was gone for the season. These things, man, they have to stop. For some reason, we have this cloud over us in Miami that every time we get somebody a big contract, at least at an 80% rate, it is a failed experiment. Another guy who's going to have to be very impactful this year or it's going to be considered a failure. Bradley Chubb. 2021, he only played 7 games coming off of an injury. We traded for him. And let's just be honest, Chubb was not good for the Miami Dolphins so far, other than the one big play in the game to get us in the playoffs or the playoff game. I don't even remember. But next year, he needs to turn up and be worth every penny that we spent. He got to turn up next year. And he solely made the Pro Bowl based off of what he did the first 8 games with Denver. solely off of that. His production literally dropped in half when he came to Miami. Literally, I'm looking at it right here in my face. Almost every category dropped in half, if not more. What he was in Denver versus what he was in Miami. Just dropped, just fell off the map. Good thing I like about Chubb is he's still young. He's still young. But it's interesting that Denver used all of the rookie deal Chubb, and we got the big contract Chubb. This is what the Dolphins do. This is what our roster is filled with, y'all. Paying the big bucks and giving contracts that end up failing. And I'm basically outlining to you all right now all the contracts we got to keep our eyes on for the next couple of years. Because Byron showed you another failure from a standpoint of either the injury bug or production bug. This is what happens in Miami. So we'll see how it goes. I hope that Fangio can get the best out of Chubb this year. But that's what we deal with as Dolphin fans. And it's time for us to start getting these right. It's time for us to start getting players that can stay healthy. Salute to Von Joe, who said, well, TD, that's what happens when you cannot consistently hit on draft picks, which is true. It is a fit. When you can't consistently hit on draft picks, what you got to do is you can't take advantage of great players with rookie deals. You got to go spend a whole lot more money. And not only do you have to spend a whole lot more money, but as a Dolphin, you got to overpay. As a Dolphin, you got to overpay, and that's what we've done. Overpaid. That's what we've done. Straight up overpay. And why is it so easy for other teams? And this is something y'all got to consider. And this is my philosophy on football. It's kind of like the Belichick way. Obviously, Denver's showing you that. Denver's showing you that with Chubb. The Cowboys are showing you that with Byron Jones. You know, the Chiefs are showing you with Tyreek. But for some reason, we're against the grain and we don't even have better results than these teams typically. And what they're showing you is we can draft because once we use a guy for 4 or 5 years, we're not going to give him the big money because we already brought in their replacement. And we're going to let them go off and get their big money, and we're going to keep on rotating. We're going to keep on rotating. Just like the Cowboys. Byron Jones, we're going to let you go. And we're gonna we're gonna go get Diggs because we can bring talent in and develop it. So the Cowboys got to save $17 million on Byron Jones and pay Diggs pennies. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. We got to do better at drafting, number one, and developing players. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why the Miami Dolphins continuously fail, there's two main reasons. Number one, we can't find a franchise quarterback drafting, right? And number two, We don't draft well, nor do we develop talent. So you could blame a coach every 5 years. You could blame a GM. Well, that would be right. You could blame players, but at the end of the day, it all rests at Stephen Ross' feet to recognize the two areas where you're failing is drafting and developing players. Drafting and developing players. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but Chris Grier has been a failure in drafting players. Chris Grier has been a failure in drafting players. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say drafting players, I don't be talking about first round picks. You're supposed to have a higher probability that they're going to be good. They're a first round pick, and we fail on that sometimes. I don't talk about those. I'm talking about the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round picks. It's a shame that we got more undrafted players starting on our team than fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounders. Isn't that backwards, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't that backwards? Jason Leavely said, true. But unfortunately, the last attempt to get rid of Grier was Flores, and Ross made his decision. Grier is here to stay forever. Yeah, you're right. You're right. TD, Chris Grier is a better negotiator than talent evaluator. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. But this is what we're stuck with, and this is what we got to deal with. Okay? So that's the Byron Jones cap implication situation. We'll talk about more about that in the panel. Let's switch gears over to the running back situation. Let's go to the running back situation. What are the Dolphins going to do? We got to talk about that. Here's why. You don't go trade for certain players just to not use them anymore. Just using them 1 year. We made some trades for running backs and stuff like that. And one or two of these guys are definitely coming back, y'all. The only issue we have, though, is the fact that none of them are under contract. None of these guys are under contract. If we were to bring back a running back, which one would you want to bring back? Salute to G. Been a member for 10 months, said build a super offense and outscore everybody. Who's been able to do that? Who's been able to do that? The Chiefs? Who's been able to build a super offense and outscore everybody? Please tell me, who's been able to build a super offense and outplay everybody? So I'm gonna be honest, it just ain't realistic. I see y'all talking about Derrick Henry right now. Stop being afraid to be great. Derrick Henry in Miami behind this old line. Ain't happening. No, not happening. You gotta have the old line, man. Don't get me wrong. You talk about a beast of a running back, but you still gotta have the old line. I've heard Derrick Henry. I've heard Cooks, Dalvin Cooks. I've heard Sanders with the Eagles. They're not expected to re-sign him. I mean, we hear it all, but this team has always tried to do it by committee. So what makes us think all of a sudden we're going to go get the bell cow and we still ain't even got the old line? And you still can't use Byron money yet. You can't use Byron money until after June. And these guys are going to cost. They're going to cost. And then you have the option of going to get a second round running back in the draft. But is that going to do it right away? I see the Saquon Barkley in the comment section as a potential. Boy, the Dolphins. And is one of those running backs really going to make a difference? I want y'all to think about this. A lot of the running backs that y'all just named, the guys that we already have on our roster, they average more yards per carry than most of these great backs that you just named when they were on Jeff Wood, when he was in San Francisco. A lot of these guys average more when they were with their team. And I'm trying to tell y'all, it's just the O-line. These guys averaging 5 and 6 yards a carry when they were with other teams. And with us, those numbers go down. So the Dolphins got some decisions to make. And on top of that, they can't go big spending. You can't go big spending. Why would you go big spending when you got other areas that are more important? I don't even think this team would do right spending $8 million on a running back at this point, let alone 12. I think you need to go right back to getting your $2 and $3 million backs. And put that extra money on the line. I don't know how many times I had to scream and yell, fix the old line, fix the old line. We've been through this. Stop acting like you have a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar Jackson, a Kyler Murray, a Deshaun Watson. Stop acting like you have a mobile quarterback that can make up for the lack of protection. We don't. Therefore, go get the best O-line in the league so your quarterback can look like the best version of himself. It's that simple. We around here trying to see if we can make up the difference of not having a left guard and a right tackle through other positions. No, there's only one position that can make up for that flaw, and that is the quarterback position, to be able to get out of that trouble with their athleticism. So since you don't have that, go do right by our quarterback and get him the right protection that you're going to need. This is what you signed up for. This is what you conceded to. You basically said that you believe in the guy that we have, and therefore go put a team around him that is conducive to him. Hey, you may have to spend more money and invest in more areas that you wouldn't have liked to, but that's what's necessary because you made that decision. Thank you. You made that decision. But no, we want to keep on going forward and saying, even though that can cost us in the end, at the end of the day, we're going to keep on going down this road and hope that we can get over the hump, or hope one of those guys surprise us and just ball out to an extent that even we didn't expect, because that's what it would be. Because at this point, it is what it is. I mean, come on. We got to just be honest. We keep on trying to find somebody at the left guard position that's going to stop. And don't get me wrong, I could see saying, hey, we're not giving up on Austin Jackson. I could see that. We're not giving up on Austin Jackson as our right tackle. I can understand that. I'm not telling you to get rid of Austin Jackson, but the problem I have is we are in a 2-year window. We cannot take our whole season. We cannot take our whole season and rely on Austin Jackson. Go get a real right tackle, sign him on a 3-year deal, give him 2 years worth of guaranteed money, and find out what Austin Jackson is next year if he can beat him out in camp. And it is what it is, but we got to have assurances. Austin Jackson can be your backup. Now, I'm not saying Austin Jackson is a bad right tackle, but you're trying to win a Super Bowl, that ain't the caliber that you want right now. A little bit better. Well, we think we're going to coach it up now? All of a sudden? Keenan Rankins asked a question. So what you saying is, if the front office doesn't go O-line this offseason, we might be moving off Tua, or the front office is incompetent. That's somewhat fair to say. Not quite what I'm trying to say. Let me elaborate, Keenan. If we don't go O-line this offseason, it doesn't mean we're moving off of Tua. It means that they're still going to require him to consistently play at a high level regardless. Here's what it is. The Dolphins have this thought process to me that they feel they have enough on the O-line. And I actually agree. We do have enough on the O-line if you got a specific type of quarterback. Let me give it to you. Number one, if you have a mobile quarterback, we got a good enough line. Number two, if you have a quarterback who at an elite level can process the field pre-snap and post-snap and read a defense, you have a good enough O-line. This isn't a situation about your quarterback's ability to throw the ball. This isn't a situation on their skill and how accurate they are. This is simply about either buying time or identifying where you can go with the ball right away just in case. Or have the brains to adjust your protections, read where the blitz is coming, identify where the heat is coming from. Truth be told, we have a good enough O-line. A lot of people won't acknowledge that, nor that they're going to say, man, this guy done lost it if you think we got a good enough O-line. What you fail to realize is that if you have the athleticism to extend plays, Patrick Mahomes will be just fine behind this O-line. I truly believe it. Now, there's levels to it. Would he be as good as he is with the Chiefs O-line? Maybe not, but he'd be just fine. He still put up his numbers. 5% drop off in production, maybe. You see what I'm saying? It ain't much. Or do you have a quarterback who can identify the blitz is coming off the edge? Matter of fact, I know, like these are the brainy quarterbacks. Let me give it to you, y'all. Let me give it to you. I got two to the right, one to the left, right? I recognize this is, say, Tampa 2, right? And my tight end is about to go split the middle of the field. But I recognize it's Tampa. That's the one route that I'm not going to throw in this situation. I recognize this is Tampa. The linebacker is going to back up like a safety. It's going to look like 3 high. And I know tight end is not a read here. But I got an extra blitzer coming out the edge that we can't block. Pre-snap brain is going to say, this look like they disguising Tampa. Because when I send somebody in, the linebacker not committed. He not in the box in his power formation when I got a fullback on the field and a running, whatever, right? The brainy quarterback is going to tell his tight end, you're going to stay in block, and tell his O-line we're shifting left. So now the left tackle going to take the blitzer, the left guard going to take the defensive end, everybody's shifting, and the tight end now has the defensive end. Stuff like that. I know I got cover 2. So I know in cover 2, this is the guy that should be open, but I know that guy shouldn't be open. I might use him. My running back could go in the flat here. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep him in because I got the blitz. That's what I'm saying. It's so many different ways you can offset weaknesses in your O-line. You got a top 5 center. You got a top 10 left tackle. You got Robert Hunt at his position playing at a high level. Some of y'all don't realize most O-lines don't have 3 guys in the top 10 of their position. That's what a lot of y'all don't realize. We have a good enough O-line, but when you have the quarterback that has limitations, they aren't mobile, they still trying to figure out how to process the field, then go do right by them. This isn't a knock on him, y'all. What I am advocating for is go do right by him. You're the one made the decision to stick with them. Then go get him a left guard, and a right tackle. Do right by him. Do right by the fans. We don't want to see. We don't have time to be out here looking at San Francisco performances. Chargers performances, Green Bay fourth quarters. Don't have the time. And the crazy thing is, when you go over the Chargers film, see, this is what people don't realize. When you go over the Chargers film, right, they played that secondary beautifully, but there were check downs available all day. But a lot of times you ain't going to get to your check down when you got to hurry up and get rid of the ball. Now, mind you, you wish you had a quarterback that can already identify what they're trying to do, so you know your check down probably is going to be your best option pre-snap. But you don't have that. So get him what he needs. Get him what he needs. Now, I know what some people say. They're going to be like, well, if they got him all of that stuff, people like you, all you're going to do is complain and say the only reason he's successful is because he got everything around him. You doggone right I'm going to say that, but guess what? He's successful. We winning. That's all that matter at the end of the day. But the reason why I'm going to say, yeah, that's the reason why he's successful is because when that $40, $50 million kick in and they got to take some of that stuff from around him, we right back where we were. See, when that $40, $50 million kick in a year, that's when people start doing this. Let me show y'all something. This is when people start doing this. So because you know what he is without everything around him. Then when you put everything around him, he's better. And we still ain't got everything around him. You could do better to make him even better, right? Right. And then when that $40, $50 million kick in, this is what people do. This is the funny part about it. The irony of it all, right? When his play regresses, they'd be like, they need to fix the O-line. No, don't say that now. We talking $40, $50 million. You can't do that now. And then if they go fix the O-line and the defense giving up more points a game, man, they need to fix this defense. They need to go $40, $50 million. So you got to have that around him to get some offense, but now you got to sacrifice the defense. Come on now, we talk with it. This ain't the $8 million we talk about right now. This ain't the $8 million dollars he making a year now. $40, $50 million. You should have saw this when he was making $8 million. And he needed all that stuff. You should have knew he wasn't going to be able. You saw what he was when he didn't have it. You knew that day was going to come again. But you wanted it. I don't have a problem with it as long as we hoist the Lombardi. I don't have a problem with it as long as we hoist the Lombardi. But if we don't hoist the Lombardi and we make it to the $40, $50 million era, because some of y'all don't realize what's happening in the NFL now. You think it's all sweet. What Michael Parsons said, besides Mahomes, every team in the Final Four QB is on a rookie deal and surrounded by talent. Interesting take. Do you know how hard it's going to be when you start paying the 40, 50 million and every year you got to compete with a quarterback on a rookie deal with everything around them? I mean, everything. And your quarterback 9 times out of 10 ain't better or not that much better than the other quarterbacks. What are you going to do? Keep on going to the first and second round every year? What you gonna do? Hold on. Tua will never be a $40-50 million QB, more like 20 to 30. Man, listen. Do you know what team you root for? Courtney Mallory. What team do you love? If it's the same as mine, the Miami Dolphins, don't you dare say a comment like that. We talk about the Dolphins. We talk about the Miami Dolphins. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins. Stop it. And everybody laughing, I'm one of them, at the Daniel Jones wanting $45 million. Everybody laughing about it. You don't understand what's happening in this league with these quarterbacks. So buckle up, bro. Buckle up. Because what you're not realizing is this. Watch this. See, this is where y'all, this is where you drop the ball, y'all. Watch this. I'm gonna paint a picture. Close your eyes if you want. And I want you to vision this. This offseason, Chris Greer trades a second round pick for Derrick Henry. He restructures a whole bunch of contracts to go for broke for the next 2 years, right? He goes and get Derrick Henry. Chris Greer goes and get the best left guard and right tackle in football. Man, this is amazing. How did we do this? Chris Greer goes and get Poyer. Chris Greer brings in Ramsey. I know this sounds crazy, y'all, but we did all of that. The Dolphins go to the AFC Championship and lose. Tua throws for 4,600 yards. He didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt. Remember that. He threw for 4,600 yards. He threw for 38 touchdowns, 11 picks, which is phenomenal. It's just realistic, you know. That's a good. Those are great numbers, by the way. And you gonna tell me Tua never be a $40-50 million quarterback? We got the best run game in the league, a historic defense. Derrick Henry got Tyreek and Waddle wide open all day. And we get 2 years of that, but we don't win a Super Bowl. You gonna tell me Tua ain't gonna be a $40-50 million quarterback? Screw the 40. You ain't gonna tell me Tua ain't gonna be a $50 million quarterback? And then 2 years from now, Teron Armstead is gone. They're not gonna replace it with nothing. They're gonna get what they can afford. A bum at left tackle right after Armstead. They can't afford Tyreek anymore. Plus, his guaranteed money done expired. That's 3 years of it. Thank you, Tyreek. They got to give Waddle his money, and they do give it to him. They figured out how they could do it, but you know what? They done moved on from certain players. Like Jalen Phillips, they couldn't afford him. They had to let him go. Ogba ain't here no more. He is expired. Bradley Chubb is still here. Still ain't got no tight end. Derrick Henry contract finally expired. Got to let him go. But we go get a Jeff Wilson type guy. And we right back to square one and might even be a lot less than the square one. What you think gonna happen for the next several years? Then that 4,600 go down, that 4,600 yards the very next season go down to 38. Them 38 touchdowns go down to 26. Those 11 picks go to 15. right back to the Dolphins. And every year they playing Jenga trying to figure out how they can get back to the glory days that still didn't win a Super Bowl, just like Buffalo. Still didn't win a Super Bowl, just like Buffalo. And they just playing Jenga. 7, 8 years later, they out here scratching their head. Should we move on? Because we can't win. Maybe we just need a cheaper quarterback and start over and rebuild. Tannehill all over again. It's just the height of it. You had better success than you did with Tannehill. Because truth be told, remember, when Tannehill was at the peak of his career, he started to put them numbers up. Then he got hurt. We started to finally win. Then he got hurt. Same way almost. Had a backup in the playoffs. Tannehill was 8-3 that year. And we just made the playoffs. Think we won like 11 games or something like that. Same thing. But people don't see that because the only thing that blinds them is the positive possibility. Is chasing the positive possibility worth a potential of the negative possibility? That's where you have to, that's where the rubber meets the road, and it always has. Paul said, "You're so negative, TD. We're going to win this year." Paul, you probably said the same thing to me last year. I don't know if you did, but Paul, something tell me you said the same thing to me last year. And I didn't say we weren't going to win, Paul. See what my job is on this channel, what I stand by and what I deliver on this channel. And it's not for everybody. This channel is not for everybody. But what I deliver is every perspective. We got the perspective that we gonna win a Super Bowl, and I've already said if we win the Super Bowl, I don't care. I'm good for it. I don't care about sucking going forward. But there ain't nothing to elaborate about that. You go get the best team around Tua. If you win a Super Bowl, hey, I'm lit. I'm good with that. We can suck for the next 5 years. I am good with that. We got the Lombardi, put to a trophy out there in front of the stadium. Matter of fact, put it next to Marino's and make it bigger. Matter of fact, change Marino's and make him look up at Tua. And make Tua's look down at him. As far as I care, I want that chip. But that's all there is to say about that. Done. That's why the positive lives. It's a short conversation. The quote unquote negative is there's a lot of scenarios that's the problem. See, that's the problem with the Miami Dolphins. This is the issue I have with our team. When you look at the roster, there's so many negative possibilities. And there ain't many positive possibilities. At least not realistic ones. Like let's take Teron Armstead. Negative possibility. He gets hurt. It is what it is. Positive possibility. He doesn't get hurt. But then when you put reality in there, he's used to getting hurt. So which one is more likely? It ain't me being negative. I just got to tell you the positive, tell you the negative, and shift and talk more about what's more likely. What's most likely? And also, when I give you the positive, it goes in and it just goes out of your mind. And all you do is hamper on when I tell you the negative potential. If you were at this stream from the beginning, did I not say, if we win a Super Bowl, putting everything around them, I'm all for it? And did I not say, this ain't a knock on Tua, but do right by him? Give him what he needs around him. Did I not say all of that? See, that's the positive stuff. That's the advocating for him that in the team. But you didn't hear that, or you did, and it went in and went out, and it didn't matter when I said something positive. You didn't hear those words from me. Because I keep on telling you, if you choose Tua, then do right by him and go get him everything. And know that you got a two-year chance to get it done. And if you don't, it is an immense failure. It's that simple. Y'all hit that like button for me. Punch that like button for you, boy. Chef Jew in the building. What's up, brother? Love you, man. Ronnie, I see you, man. So we need 21 guys around Tua. Okay, let's do it. You don't need 21, but you need about 18. You need about 18. And then on top of them 18, the 4 that you don't need, 3 of them on defense. But you don't need that offense. See, we talking about running backs. I mean, are we just going to abandon the tight end position? I'm hearing reports they're banking on Hunter Long having a breakout year. This is what I'm talking about. A guy that got one more catch than me in his career, they banking on him to be. See, here's my thing. Hopefully they can make something of Hunter Long. I spoke highly of Hunter Long coming out. What I saw in college, I had a lot of faith for. But what I saw in camp and what I see from them, no. And they're banking on Hunter Long. This is what I be talking about, y'all. In a 2-year window, we got too many people that are unproven that we're banking on. That's my issue. So do right by Tua. Stop putting people in his vicinity that you banking on and put people in his vicinity that you know already gonna deliver. You already know they're gonna deliver. Go get a real right tackle. Okay, let's compromise, Dolphins. If you don't go get a left guard, go get the best right tackle you can get. And now Austin Jackson is the backup for Armstead and that new right tackle. Because we know Armstead going to miss some games. And Austin Jackson is the version of a guy that's who you want to back up Armstead when he missed 5 games. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That's the level he on to me. He can definitely back up. You know how, the quarterbacks haven't lived up to backing up to him? Which is debatable, but whatever. That's what Austin Jackson need to be for Armstead, but he'll be a better version. Now, are we going to abandon the tight end position? Or are we going to go get a real tight end? We ain't got none of them under contract primarily either. So what you need to recognize is this team has a lot of things that Chris Grier has to deal with this offseason. And all he continues to do is bring in as much as he can and backload contracts, which means that he knows we're in a window. When you're backloading contracts the way you are, we're in a window. Byron Jones' contract was front-loaded. That's why if he retired, he'd owe them money. But that was the last of the front loads. That was the last of them. They didn't give Tyreek $30 million off rip. One of these years, Tyreek got a $45 million cap hit or something like that, I saw. But I'm sure they don't plan on him being on the roster at that point. They don't plan on it. A man who's supposed to get $30 million a year, right? Last year, he got $6.5 million. Last year, no, he didn't get that. He got plenty money. He got $27 million in cash last year. But as far as his cap hit, he was $6.5 million last year. Now we're talking about, once again, a guy who's supposed to average 30. A guy who's supposed to average 30. What you think that money? Where you think that money going on the back end? Well, hold on now. This year it says that Tyreek Hill's cap hit is $32 million, 31 and a half. They couldn't escape that long. I can imagine that they'll restructure it. I could imagine they'll restructure it and push it down the road a little more. But the flexibility to push it down the road already looked grim. The one thing that I did like about Tyreek's contract, though, is the fact that they didn't go ridiculous with the guaranteed money. It was a $52 million guaranteed contract, which is about 2 years worth. Total guarantees, $72 million. So where does the other $20 million come from? This year he gets a $10 million roster bonus. Then you add up all his workout, miscellaneous, and other roster bonuses. It comes up to that. But I don't think, ladies and gentlemen, Tyreek is going to. I personally don't think Tyreek will see 2025 with the Dolphins unless he restructures his contract and renegotiate. Because they're not going to be able to absorb $30 million and then $50 million. Yeah, he'll restructure. What you do, players love restructures because what they're trying to do is convert more of your regular money into signing bonus, which means they'll hand you a check that same day. Tyreek Hill had a $25.5 million signing bonus. That's what he got the day he signed. Yeah. Somebody said Falcons release Mariota. Yeah, the Bills have the Buffalo Bills are looking for a defensive coordinator. They'll probably move somebody up so they can run the same system. Funny thing is I listen to other teams' podcasts and they are having the same convos we're having about O-line. Just replace the Finn's name. Very few teams have great O-lines. Exactly. Some of y'all don't realize the Buffalo Bills O-line is just as bad as ours. Matter of fact, they're worse. The Buffalo Bills, y'all. That's one area they need to fix. But everybody want to think it's us. It's us. It's us. Because you got people out here selling that it's us, this O-line. We used to give up hurries. We used to give up sacks. Now it's hurt. Now we don't give up sacks and we give up hurries. That ain't good enough. Which would you rather, a sack or a hurry? Which would you rather, a sack or a hurry? It's crazy to me. And for the record, and what I meant by hurry, I meant a pressure. No, you don't rather a sack, Ronnie. What are you talking about? Why would you take a sack and the play is over? It's done. You lost. You take the pressure because you can still execute it under pressure. You still have a chance to make a play under pressure. You don't rather the sack. You can still make a play with pressures. I'll take pressures all day. It's when you're giving up sack after sack after sack. That's when you got an issue. I got you, Roddy. I see what you mean. Because two of the QB might throw a pick. I get that too, but still, I still, you don't want them sacks. Anywho, we were talking about the running back situation, and then that opened up the fact that we ain't got tight ends, and it opened up the fact that we need this, we need that. We realize how much we actually need on this team. If you want to be honest, we need a left guard, we need a right tackle, we need 2 running backs at a minimum, and you'll fill the roster with the rest, but you need at least 2 decent ones. You need tight end. I'm good with the depth at that position. Some are saying we still need a backup quarterback that's more reliable. That's a fair way to look at it too, because they're still developing Skyler. We need a middle linebacker. You need more than that. You need two really good linebackers, but I'll just keep on saying middle because that's the most important, and we need that. D-line, we're good, especially if we're going to a 4-3. I don't know. If we're going to, I think we're good in that situation. Because even though I feel like there are needs, it is what it is. There's too many guys on the contract. They're going to have to deal with what they have because people think that they're one-on-one beasts, and they're going to find out this year. That's another thing y'all better watch out for. When we rush 4, if we never get in there or rarely getting there, because Fangio's system doesn't like the blitz either. It's all about coverage in the secondary. Sometimes he even sends 3. He wants to pin the ears back and send the 4. And never mind. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he could also elevate their play to where they're getting there. So we'll see. In the secondary is a mystery now when you really think about it. Byron situation. X declining. But we'll play a lot more zone with Fangio, so that might be good for X, or maybe it won't. Because all that opportunistic stuff all X's prime being opportunistic doesn't work in the zone. There ain't much baiting. It's just assignment. Anyway, let me get off of that. But the secondary is a mystery. There are a lot of areas that this team can invest to be better. A lot of areas this team can invest to be better. Will they? Yeah. But how much can you? If you got 8 boxes that you need to check to have a really, really good team this year, how many can you fill? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? We don't know. And that's what we're going to do. I'll create a chart one of these days for the offseason. I'm going to do it right now on paper, but I'll create a chart on the computer, and we'll check boxes to see how we did with the boxes we checked. Y'all tell me in the comment section, what does this team need? What does the team need to make it a really good team? And don't tell me a starting quarterback. Let's be realistic of what we know is going to happen right now. So, left guard, right tackle, We already know. We keep establishing that. Middle linebacker. Cornerback. QB2. Running back. 1. Running back. 2. Let me see. I got to look at Eric Rowe's contract real quick. Give me a second. Oh, tight end. Jesus. How did I even miss that? Tight end. Technically, we need a running back 3. All right, Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe contract. I just got to see. I don't even know if he under contract. I got to see if he's under contract this year. Because they gave him a 3-year, $16 million. 5.5 a year. 22. He a free agent. We do need another safety. I didn't know Eric Rowe's a free agent. Congratulations to Eric Rowe, by the way, a guy who has contributed to this team for the last 4 years, and he made it through his entire contract. Y'all got to give it up for Eric Rowe. Salute to Eric Rowe. Okay, that was a success. He came in, he made it through his entire contract, and he did contribute to this team best he could. He did a good job against tight ends over the years. Great job to Eric Rowe. Very good job. Appreciate him. Trill Williams to safety. Yeah, I get it, but we need a safety. That's the point, because if that's their goal, then we'll see. Wide receiver 3. No, didn't they give money? Didn't they give him money? Freaking ridiculous to me. Oh, I don't think we need a wide receiver 3. I gotta look at the contract. Oh, I still can't get over this. Cedric Wilson had 12 catches for 136 yards and no touchdowns. I'm gonna tell you now, I can't get over it. I cannot get over it. Miami. I cannot get over the fact you gave Cedric Wilson a 3-year, $22 million contract. God, I'm telling y'all, slow TD would have got 100 yards in this league. I can go get 100, man. Give me, man. Oh my gosh, man. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to pull up the contract because I want to see where's the get out money at when they can get out of it. Gosh, man. Hey, what's going on? Is my system crashing or something? $13 million guaranteed. They gave him 7 point something a year. That means he's still owed $5.5 million at a minimum. This year he's an $8 million cap hit with $7 million in dead cap. Lord, he's likely to be on the roster. So no, we don't need a CB3 because you also got Sherfield. Gosh, man. 12 catches, man. This man made by 800,000 per catch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Miami Dolphins, you can't make this up. Oh my gosh. Miami Dolphin fans. Oh, Sherfield ain't even under contract. Sherfield ain't even under contract. And man, oh my gosh. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy. This team, man. Oh. So, man, shout out to Cedric Wilson, man. He got that cash. That's what's up, homie. I'm happy for you. As a man and a human being, salute to you. Now, if I'm a Dolphin fan or a general manager in the Dolphins, oh my gosh. What is Greer? Oh my gosh. What you think was going to happen if you got Tyreek and Waddle? What are you doing? You might have well kept Mac Hollins. Man, how much Mac Hollins made? Man. I don't know why my system running slow on me now. Let me shut it down. It is what it is. Oh my gosh, man. You can't make this stuff up, people. You cannot make this stuff up. Trent Sherfield, 30 catches for 417 yards, and he made $1 million. Oh my gosh. You can't make this up, y'all. Sherfield had 4 times the production, 2 touchdowns, because Cedric ain't even have a touchdown. Sherfield even had 2 touchdowns and made $1 million, and his teammate made $7 million. Greer just all over the place. So they'll probably re-sign Sherfield. But the crazy thing is, now watch this. First of all, you need to re-sign Sherfield. He knows the system. But now he gets more money. Sherfield, man, you better go get you some agent that's going to represent you the right way. You better go get an agent that's going to represent you the right way, bro. And point straight to your teammate. He getting $7 million. I'm out playing him. Straight up. It's crazy, man. Receptions. Cedric Wilson would probably be traded. Salute to you, ball game. You know what? That would be if Greer can get Cedric Wilson traded, then he's doing the right thing. Because Cedric Wilson, I mean, Sherfield, he needs to go ahead and get him a little 3-year, $9 million contract. Get that man his few $1,000,000 a year. They need to go and get Sherfield a little 3-year, $9 million contract and figure out a way to get out of Cedric Wilson's contract. He was non-existent. And from my understanding, it ain't like he was dealing with major injuries and this and that. Hey, we definitely overpaid and didn't get the production. Didn't. Oh boy, somebody said TD, look at Mac Hollins' contract. Mac Hollins signed a 1-year, $2 million deal with the Raiders. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Mac Hollins could have did more, in my opinion, could have did more than both of those receivers combined for us. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it now. Mac Hollins had 57 receptions, 690 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He actually did more than both of them combined. Even more touchdowns combined. And for $2 million, the Miami Chris Greer. As a matter of fact, Miami signed Mac Hollins in the offseason. You might as well go ahead and sign Mac Hollins right back to the Dolphins in the offseason. Why not? Renfro was hurt. That's fine. But at least he showed he can come in and play football. At least he showed he can come in and play football. Doesn't matter that Renfro was hurt. You already had a capable number 3 here. I rather Sherfield and Hollins backing up those guys. Cedric Wilson got to go, y'all. Cedric Wilson got to go. Waddle laboring those little aches and pains all the time, going to the sideline. That's where you're supposed to eat. The Raiders aren't letting them leave, bro. He was a solid number 2 for them. Waller was iffy. You're right. You're right. They're not going to let him leave, and I wonder how much he's worth now. That's you're right. I wonder how much he's worth now. That's going to be interesting to find out. But anyway, let's get back to it, y'all. Right now, we know this team needs a left guard, a right tackle, a middle linebacker, a cornerback, a QB2, running back 1, a running back 2, a running back 3, tight end, safety. Because Eric Rowe's contract is up. Maybe they bring him back. But right now, I'm seeing 10 positions that we definitely need to not only feel, but be better at. With the exception of safety and running back 3, not necessarily better. Re-signing Eric Rowe wouldn't be an issue to me because then you got guys like Trill that you can, use and stuff. But I believe that's it. So we talked about checking the boxes. The kicker situation, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that one alone. What's our salary cap looking like? Yeah, I ain't look at it as of most recently, so let me go check out. I'll check it out right now. Let me see where the Dolphins are right now. For 2023. Yeah, and that's just as of right now, because they already got the money for draft picks that they project. We're gonna spend about $4 million on our draft picks, is what they project. All right, let me see. Adjusted their money, total, okay, cap space. So as of right now, we're negative $15 million. I mean, nothing's popped off yet. So right now we're negative 15 million. $15,311,674. That's as of right now. All cap. The Dolphins are negative 15.3 million. Okay. Again, some moves are about to take place. They're going to do some restructures. They're going to they're going to do some restructures. They're going to make some cuts. We should be we're gonna get from behind that 15 million. It's just how many million can we get in the positive? That's all that is. How many millions can we get into the positives? Right now, we're looking at 43 active players within that negative 15 million. So here's the issue for the Dolphins. So 43 players, they're expecting, let me see how many draft picks. 5 draft picks. So that's 48 players. So that's 5 players unsigned that they'll need and negative 15 million. So say those 5 players at the bottom of the roster are, 700,000 each. It's about 5 million, right? Or whatever. Just say 5 million. So we're negative 20 million, and then we need to make some cuts. And Tyreek ain't getting cut. Chubb ain't. Armstead ain't. Byron will, but it ain't going to help us now. It's going to be June before we can see that. So we can't use that in free agency. The NFL won't allow it. Ogba, which is an interesting one. Ogba is an interesting one. Salute to the homie. He said with Mariota getting released, I think he would be a solid backup / starter if Tua was to go down again. Yeah, I would deal with a Mariota as a backup for sure. Not my starter. Issue I got with a guy like Mariota, man, is like, say like a Tua goes down and Mariota comes in with this talent around him and he balls out, and then we start looking at that as a long-term option. Because if Tua go down, he pretty much done. And I don't want this team to ever get in their eyesight to think that Mariota's going to be a long-term, because he have a Geno Smith type season with everything around him. But he would be a good backup. Definitely. But the Ogba situation is definitely interesting. He's a $15 million cap hit this year. That's his base salary. That's his cap hit. Let me click on that, because that Ogba situation, his agent said, there's mutual interest for him to stay and they want him here. I just don't. I'm telling y'all, man, it's just like you got Ogba, Phillips, and Chubb. All of them ain't gonna be on the field at the same time, and their contracts should put them all on the field at the same time. That's the issue. Matter of fact, he's actually a $17 million cap hit this year, but they can't cut him because he got $21 million in dead cap. unless they're going to eat $7 million for the next 3 years, which ain't the end of the world, but that's still like, man, he may be a trade candidate, y'all. But then how do you trade a guy coming fresh off an injury? Once again, another debacle. This team is filled with these situations. This team is filled with these type of situations. I just don't like having all of these guys make that kind of money, and all of them ain't going to be on the field at the same time. That's the issue I have. And I refuse. I mean, that's dumb to stunt Jalen Phillips' growth. He need to be on that field at all times. Interesting. Anyway, let's move on. Jerome Baker, it's another one. Jerome Baker is another one. Let me look at his situation. He's a almost $13 million cap hit this year. And this is the year where they could move off of Jerome Baker. I'm gonna tell y'all now, Jerome Baker could very well be he could very well be a casualty. Nobody's talking about it. Jerome Baker could be a casualty. $13 million cap hit this year. And he already got voidable years on his contract all the way to 2026. He's $8.7 million dead cap with 4 years of 2 years left, but 4 years worth of voidability. They could take that $8 million and spread it out for $2 million each year. That wouldn't hurt the Dolphins already. Baker already restructured once, I know. And now he's right back at that situation where it's like, do you keep him? You can't restructure again. You already got 2 years avoidable in 2025 and 2026. They already kicked your money on the back end. Ogbah and Jerome Baker, interesting conversations in the offseason. It's going to be very interesting to see what the team does. Somebody say they'll probably keep him around. 13 million? They must be going. They're going to do a restructure or something. But right now, looking at it, any restructure is going to be an extension. That's the issue. Do they want to extend him? Is he the linebacker that they need with Fangio? I'm not saying he ain't, but I don't know. Huge decision. As soon as Greer left, the Pats started winning Super Bowls. Oh boy. We'll see, man. That Jerome Baker one is interesting. So we gotta look at Baker and that's fair. I'm gonna put a linebacker here. All right. Christian Wilkins. Is about $11 million this year. But he's either going to get his extension, which will save us money, y'all. He's $11 million this year, but if they go ahead and give him his extension, which is highly likely, they're going to save money this year. He's going to have some big hits in the future, but they're going to save money with an extension this year. So the $11 million he's supposed to cost, he may end up being half of that, maybe even less this year alone, which will save us money. Or he can get traded for some first round picks, which I don't think is going to happen. Only way Christian Wilkins get traded for first round picks is if they try to prepare for 2024 draft just in case the quarterback situation don't work. All right, what else we got? Xavier Howard has a $1 million contract this year. Oh, here it is. Signing bonus, $5 million. Jesus. Option bonus, $3.4 million. Workout bonus, restructure bonus, $1.5 million. So X is a $10 million cap hit this year. It's an interesting contract here with X. $10 million cap hit this year. Oh, it's how they structured it. So X isn't bad this year, but next year he goes to $26 million with 23 dead caps. So they're gonna probably keep him next year too, because that's a hard cap hit to swallow. And the year after that, 23 million, but they can get out of it in 2025. They can get out next year, but why eat 7 million per 8 million per year in cap? And he not even on the team. Possible, but X got 2 more years with the Dolphins, I believe. Five-year, 90 million. All right, let's go back. So these are all guys going to be on the team. Tua is a... How much money is Tua costing? Tua's costing $9.6 million this year. Connor Williams. This is an interesting one nobody's talking about. The Connor Williams situation. Connor Williams is due a contract extension this offseason because he's going to be an $8.4 million cap hit, but he's due a contract extension because he is an unrestricted free agent. He is an unrestricted free agent. Connor's going to get a contract this all season, probably just like Christian Wilkins. And don't forget, Connor's young, so he's a part of the future. They're going to give him his 4 or 5 year deal, and he going to ride out. Unless he turns it down and he starts betting on himself, because he's been one of the top in the NFL, so that would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Connor. They gave him a 2-year, $14 million. And I know he's going to be looking for a big deal now, 3 to 4 years. Over $20 million for sure. All right. And then who's next? Cedric Wilson. We already been over that. I ain't gonna talk about it. Then you got Jalen Waddle, $7 million. Austin Jackson is going to make $4 million this year. $4.4 million. Jesus, why is this? Oh, because they haven't exercised the 5th-year option yet. So he would make $14 million if they exercise the 5th-year option. They ain't doing that. They're not gonna exercise the 5th-year option for him. It's not gonna happen. Hey, mama, you can come hang out. What time is it? Ooh. Hey, did you say hi? Hey, you gonna hang out with me for a little bit? All right, you're gonna chill. So, yeah, they ain't picking up Austin Jackson's 5th-year option. This is his last season because he got a fully guaranteed contract. So will they re-sign him though? Will they give Austin Jackson a contract extension? See, that's something nobody's talking about. We know they ain't picking up no fifth-year option, but would they give him a contract extension at a cheaper price? I don't know, but it's still going to cost. Durham Smythe is under contract, and he's $4 million, a little pricey for that type of production. We'll see how that goes. Robert Hunt, $4 million, $3.8 million actually. In the Robert Hunt situation, now he need his money. Robert Hunt is up for a contract extension right now because he is an unrestricted free agent next year. So we got Christian Wilkins, we got Robert Hunt, we got Austin Jackson, we got Connor Williams. All of these guys, man, it's going to be interesting. Now, Austin Jackson, I could see them waiting to like week 8 to see if they're going to give him an extension. If he plays great and balls out, they'll give him an extension. If he get hurt or doesn't play well, then probably not. But Robert Hunt, they got to get the deal done. They got to get the Hunt deal done this offseason. So Christian Wilkins, Connor Williams, and Hunt, they got to get all 3 of those done. Failure to do so is an issue. It'll be an issue. And salute to Hunt. Came in, did his job, did well, second round pick. Definitely love Hunt with this team. All right, Jalen Phillips is the next contract. Jalen Phillips making almost is $3.8 million. Jason Sanders, $3.7 million. Now, will they save a few bucks on Jason? They still speaking highly of him. I don't know what they would decide to do. He don't have any more guarantees, I don't believe. Let me check the contract. I see the cap hits. No dead cap. Yeah, he ain't had no guarantees. He done already met his guaranteed money pretty much. So he on the contract for 4 more years, but it ain't no guarantees. So we'll see what they decide to do in that regards. I'm going to stop right there because you ain't saving much money on everybody else. They young. They make less than $4 million. Everybody I just named, you're going to have to save money on contract extensions. When you give Connor his extension, you might have a cap hit $1 million this year and give him his money for the future. When you give Christian Wilkins his money, you might have a $4 million cap hit this year, but give him his big money for the future. Chris Greer is going to take the route of saving money with contract extensions. That's the first thing he's going to do. So when he extends guys like Christian them, it's going to relieve some of the cap. Then he's going to go to some of the players like your, Tyreek's, all those guys and make decisions on restructures. But he already in the whole $15 million. We got to see what he's going to decide to do overall. But that's where he's going to get his money. It's going to be contract extensions and some of the top heavy player restructures and potential cap casualties like Jerome Baker and Emmanuel Ogbah. Ogbah not likely given the dead cap, but it's not the end of the world. But you like to trade him if you can. But we'll see. They might just let it ride, but that's a pretty strong hit to let ride. $17 million. But hey, you got dead cap anyway, so you ain't gonna save. You'll save $10 million this year if you did. So we got ways to get money. I say on the best end, the Miami Dolphins gonna clear up some space and get to around 30 to around 27 to 35 million. I think that we'll get to a point when it's all said and done before free agency where we got about 27 to 35 mil. That's top of my brain. It's quick math. I think about 27 to 35 mil we'll be at. And then in the back of our pocket, we got the Byron Jones post June, but we can't use it now. But remember, we can make a trade later or something if we need with that money. But so let me just sit it at 30. Let me sit it at 30 million. So going into the offseason with 30 million, you re-signed the people you needed to re-sign. You got like 11 players that you got to bring in. Left guard, potential right tackle. But again, I told you, man, they're gonna probably Austin Jackson, the right tackle situation. Middle linebacker, a cornerback, a QB2, running back 1, running back 2, running back 3, a tight end, safety, and another linebacker on top of that. So they gotta have about 30 million to fill 11 positions. And we're talking, and now let's take the starters out of that. I mean, let's take the backups out of that. Let's just go starters, the priority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. You're going to need to go get 6 starters. Left guard, right tackle. But again, they're going to Austin Jackson, that boy. And I'm just telling y'all what we need that's going to maximize us. But middle linebacker, cornerback, running back 1, tight end 1. Let me put that 1 next to the tight end. And that's it. Left guard, right tackle, middle linebacker, cornerback, running back 1, tight end 1. That's 6. And you got not 30 million to do that. You're going to have about 20 million to do that. Those 6 positions. So obviously you can't get the best of the best. Obviously you're going to have holes. A really good middle linebacker alone is going to be 10 plus. So it just ain't happening. So we'll see what boxes they check. Then you'll see where they go get an average player to just, hey, they're a starter. So it is what it is. All right. Anywho, they ain't picking up Austin Jackson 5th-year option. They ain't picking up no Noah's 5th-year option. That's a give-in. Matter of fact, I just want to know what Noah 5th-year option would have been. Oh, my gosh. Noah making $3.6 million this year. Salute to him. All right, let me see. It's loading now. Signed Bobby Wagner on the cheap. Y'all think Bobby Wagner going to be cheap? How much y'all think Bobby Wagner going to be? I don't know why everybody just automatically think that. Remember, he's free, so 32 teams can offer something. So when you got everybody offering something, the price goes up. Noah would be $11.5 million on a 5th-year option. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I don't know why y'all think Bobby gonna be cheap. Even if he was a cheap version, remember, you got to pay your draft picks, right? You got to fill the roster out. For those top 6 positions, I told y'all you're going to have about 22 million. I don't care if Bobby was 10 million. That's one player off the board and you got 12 million for the other 5. Now, don't get me wrong. We need a legitimate middle linebacker. It is what it is. I don't know. Anyway, man, we're coming up on a 2-hour mark. I'm about to end this stream. Got some stuff I need to take care of. Thank y'all for hanging out with your boy this morning. Enjoying the stream. Appreciate everybody showing their love and support. Hit your like button on the way out of the building. I was supposed to do the panel, but we're going to crank that up a little later. Hey, hold on. Don't get get mad at me because I took your little teaser. Here. All right. You all better now? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Here, I'm sorry. Okay. I will see y'all later, and we will open it up for as a panel later. Had some conversation as a group. Appreciate the love and support. Again, I ain't nothing without y'all, so I thank y'all for rocking with me every single day. I will see y'all soon. Fins up no matter what. Peace. I'm out.